Om Shri Matre Namaha. Previously, we came to know the detailed description about Āpastamba Dharmasutra part 1. Now, I am going to take part 2 of Āpastamba Dharmasutra. Let us start with prayer. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Knowers of Dharma would vouchsafe that if we continue to perform dharmas, charity and atidhi pujas, etc., as laid down in our shastras, we can prevent forced equality in our country. If laborers go on strike, the Sutrakara who provides safeguards to the laborers specifies also the punishment in case he goes on strike without proper reason. If an agriculturist takes land on rental but does not do farming, the king should collect the income from him if he is resourceful and pass it on the owner. If he does not seek it, the laborer goes on strike but has no resources, he should only be punished. Compensation should not be levied. Such rules are noteworthy. Now, rules of eating food. Let us see in detail. In the Bhojana Prakaranam, the Sutrakara lays down excellent rules of hygiene. He prohibits consuming food sold in restaurants, and he prescribes many subtle rules of Dharma. One should not eat in a boat, on a bed, with footwear on, with head gear on, or seen by dog. Food contacted by feet, cloth, with people not fit to eat with. Food served with disdain. Food is that much importance given in our Shastras. He has also prescribed rules on food items that are fit for consumption, items to be avoided, person in whose company one can eat, person not fit, etc. By following these rules, we can attain good health. There should be no fear of theft. How? Āpastambha has prescribed a number of safeguards for national security and protection of citizens in Rajadharma Prakaranam. It is verily a constitution. We shall explain two aspects. The king, in whose rule there is no fear of theft in the town, village, or forest. Is he true good doer? Too good. It is the king's moral responsibility or duty to enable people to lead fearless life. For this purpose, the army should be deployed to a distance of 1 yojana around a town and 1 krosa around a village. See the measurements of appointing the security guards. If there is a theft in such a protected place, the king should compensate through the army guards. if the stolen material is not retrieved. It can only be observed in dharmic rule that if theft has taken place due to the negligence of the gods and the stolen goods are also not traced, compensation to the citizen has to be paid from the royal treasury. Dharma Shastras also prescribe that honorarium is also to be paid to the gods if they catch the thief and retrieved the stolen goods. Next, citizens should not suffer from hunger, disease, cold and heat. The Sutrakara also mentions another very important matter. In the king's rule, nobody should suffer from hunger, disease, cold or heat for want of comfort or lack of availability of comfort. This is a very lofty political principle. It is the king's responsibility to ensure that citizens do not suffer from hunger. This is moral responsibility. The reason for suffering could be absence of food or non-availability even if the present. The king should take the responsibility to prevent the hunger in both cases. Similarly, the king has the responsibility to ensure that diseases do not afflict the people, and if they occur, to cure the afflicted. The idea is that he should set up hospitals and provide medical treatments. Protection even to small creatures. Anywhere in the world, religion and government laws safeguarded the living comforts of human beings alone. There is no religion which safeguards very tiny creatures like fly, ant, worm or insect. It is only our Vedic religion which does this in a dharmic way. In addition to stipulating offer of food to these creatures, ourselves enjoin their non-killing. Āpastambha divides the creatures into those with bone and those without bone and instruct that no creature should be killed, and if killed, the prayaschitta for the sin committed. This is also a kind of punishment. There is a specific reference to rat, frog, mongoose, etc. in the context of non-killing. Hence, anyone who respects Shastras will not dare to kill even very tiny creatures. This is also a kind of punishment. There is specific reference to rat, frog, mongoose, etc. in the context of non-killing. Hence, anyone who respects Shastras will not dare to kill even very tiny creatures. This is also a special feature in our Dharma Shastra. More provisions. Similar principles taught by Āpastambha on dharmas related to women and kings. Common dharma, taxation, etc. are innumerable. To describe all of them here is impossible. To read for oneself is the best. We should point out a few examples as indivisible. Number one, the Sutrakara does not permit any division between dharma and governance. There is no place for such division. Governance is but a part of dharma. That a kingdom run on the basis of Dharma Shastra alone will be stable is an important lesson learned from this Dharma Shastra. Another aspect. An important aspect, determination suited for circumstances. How? Some of the matters covered in this sutra are not in practice. It is due to informed resolution suited to our times that prayashittas, ashaucham, procedure for partition of property, etc., are not in practice today or stipulated in Āpastambha Sutra. Some dharmas like prayashchitta, asaucham, etc. have been mentioned differently in different shrutis, smritis and sutras. Nibandhakaras, who are masters of pramanas, mimamsa, etc., have examined all aspects and resolved differences of opinion with due consideration to time, place and circumstances. They have instructed as to what is to be practiced based on the conclusions logically drawn. That is reflected in the traditional practice of respected religious people. Hence, it is impossible that some of the instructions of Āpastambha might have gone out of practice owing to determination based on time, place and entitlement. The reason is the conclusion of Nibandhana alone. Further, the Sutrakara has enunciated dharmas required for all yugas, types of rightful claimants and regions. The rightful claimants should examine them and disregard them required. Some dharmas are instructed only for a different yuga and do not apply to this yuga. One such asavarna marriage and the succeeding progeny. But this was for a different yuga and does not apply to Kali Yuga. Rishis and Nibandhanakaras have their resolution this matter. Even in earlier yugas, if asavarna marriage was practiced, it was not for dharma. It was for lust only. Manu deplores such marriage in his Smriti. Vasishtha also says it is not a dharmic marriage. Such a marriage was restricted only to the Varnas who participate in Vedic study. Upanayana and Yaga, marriage with Sudra was not accepted for Brahmana. Even in early yugas, it was rejected. Many makes it clear. Manu makes this clear. This type of Anuloma marriage was impracticable among the three Varnas. That is totally banned in Kali Yuga by rishis. There is also a view that Niyoga is never for Brahmanas. Grihya Sutram. Rituals of samskaras like Upanayanam, marriage, etc. Karmas performed with Ekagni are covered in Grihya Sutras of Āpastambha. The sequence of rituals in Āpastamba Grihya Sutras follows generally that one is Grihya Mantram is called Ekagni Kandam and Mantra Prashnam. Grihya Sutram is brief and clear. Commentaries of Sudarshana and Haradatta on this are available. Some details relating to the Grihya Sutra can be found in the Tamil translation of that work, Kalpa Sutram. This is a strange sutram of all works of Āpastambha. This covers the Vedis to be used in yogas and Agnikaryas, their dimensions, and the method of construction of different Vedis for Garuda Shayanam, Rathachakra Shayanam, etc. The dimensions of bricks, etc. This is an excellent word in mathematics. This is called Kalpam because the Yoga Shastras, brick, etc. have to be measured with a rope. This is a geometry. Western scholar, based on this Kalpa Sutram, meant for Yaga Vedis. These interesting Salva Sutra have been made known to the Western world by Dr. Tia Bhatt or covered. The publication of this work only confirms the conclusion of Van Skarder that Pythagoras learnt not only his theory of transmigration but his mathematics also from India in the 6th century before Christ. Whatever service is closely connected with the ancient Indian region must be considered as having sprung up many hurdles to the Indians themselves and not borrowed from other nations. Geometry was developed in India from the rules for construction of the matters or attracts or works of Āpastambha. Maharshi Āpastambha was himself embodiment of Veda. His sutras are entirely Vedic. He was appointed as Sutra Pravartaka Rishi by Brahmana in order to firmly establish, protect, propagate Vedic dharmas. He carried out his divine duties responsibly with the authored sutras with great mastery. He commentators of sutras accept that meaning sutra works. Āpastamba Sutra have a specific place owing to their style and deep up meaning. Āpastamba has Mitrayan the sutras for complete Yajurveda, known as Advaryu branch. They are of three types: Shrotram, Gruhyam, and Dharmam. In Shrauta, Sutras explain Yuga karmas like Upanayanam, marriage, etc. Dharma Sutram goes into common dharmas. Āpastambha wrote sutras every constructing of three dharma practices. They cover dharmas of Srautam, Grihyam, and Smartam. In 5 prashnas, starting from 25th, Grihya and Smartas are covered. This is the, division of subjects in Āpastambha's 30 prashnas. This is clear from the Kartik, how covered the Shrauta Sutram by related to Tretagni are prescribed. The rituals to be performed specifically by Advaryu are mentioned there. Āpastambha has written sutras on rites of yogas from Agnihotram, Darsha Purnamasa Yogam. In accordance with Yajurveda, for the sutras, one Sri Durta Swami, a great soul equal in stature to maintain, has written a commentary, soul equal in stature to Maharshi, has written a commentary which is impossible to take. There is a famous Vritti Grantha and Sasandara which explains the base and provides guidance on each sutra. This is celebrated as the best authoritative text by the performer of yajnas. The author of this gloss is the great and renowned man called variously as Sri Ramagnichit, Sri Bhattanathar, and Sri Vishnu Chitta, hailed as Periyalvar by Vaishnavas, the father of Andal. He has composed prabandhas called Tirupallandu, etc. Sri Vedanta Deshika has confirmed in his work Rahasyatrayasaram that the gloss of Kalpa Sutras was written by Periyalvar or Vishnu Chittar. Though names like Bhattanada and Vishnu Chitra are not seen in the Ramandar or Andar means Lord. It appeared that in his lineage it was usual to use the term Andal. His daughter Goda was called Andal. Following this practice, commentators say that it is a possible that her father was called Rama Andal. Until we get any proper evidence contradicting this, we should accept this argument. Another great man called Sri Rudradatta has also written a glossary for Āpastamba Shrauta Sutram. Some more rishis have also written Shrauta Sutras for Yajurveda. The ones written by Bodhayana, Bharadwaja, Satyashada, Katyayana, Hiranyakeshi, Manu, Varaha, Vaikanasa are still in use. However, we find more comprehensive coverage in Āpastamba Sutra. It is also noteworthy that Sutrakaras of Purva Mimamsa like Jaimini have based their work on Āpastamba Sutras and their logic. Shastra permits acceptance from other branches of Veda, matters not covered in the branch under consideration and not contradictory to other provisions in that branch of Veda. In the same branch, there are cases of differences in kalpa on certain matters. Some anukalpas are cited by commentators in this context based on other branches. In this respect, Āpastamba Sutra helps a great deal. This sutra is very tough, not easy to understand. Karavinda's commentary and Sundara Tajya's gloss are available for this. One should read this to know Āpastambha's expertise mathematicians. Āpastamba Smriti. Maharshi Āpastambha did not stop with writing works of sutras, but he has also author of Smriti entirely in the forms of shlokas. This is well known as Āpastamba Smriti. Ancient Nibandhakaras like Vijnaneshwara and Apararka and others have cited Āpastamba Smriti passages authority in many places. In this Smriti, miscellaneous dharmas and special prayashchittas have primarily been mentioned by Āpastambha. Āpastambha's period. A brief mention of his place and time would be in order. There is no uniform opinion among historians about his time and place. There is no proper basis are available. Hence, historians have reached conclusion based on guesswork and imagination. This is not acceptable to Vedic religionists. It is known that Āpastambha's period was before Paunini, the Vyakarana Sutrakara, and Patanjali the commentator. A sutra by Āpastambha in Upasamskara Prakaranam has been translated by Patanjali in his commentary. In Paunini Sutra, there is reference to Badarayana as the son of Parashara. Badarayana was Jaimini's teacher. Jaimini himself cites Āpastamba Sutra in many places, hence many historians guess that Kalpa Sutras, especially Āpastambha, as the pioneer of Dharma Shastra. We also see Jaimini, the Mimamsa Sutrakara, citing Āpastambha in many places. Jaimini brings out in many places the opinions of Āpastambha as a Purvapaksha and Sama as authority. This shows that Āpastambha preceded Jaimini. As Yajnavalkya and his Smriti refers to Parasara along with Āpastambha, we are led to think that Āpastambha was the contemporary of Parashara if he preceded Vyasa. Puts Āpastambha's time as Kali 450 or 4550 BC is also to be noted. As per his conclusion, the period of Rishis ends at Kali 450. There are no Rishis in Kali Yuga thereafter. To establish that Āpastambha was present in Kali Yuga, it would not be appropriate to cite his own sutra, which states that Rishis will not come up in Kali Yuga, as there is no proper Vedic study as per rules. He only forecast the state in Kali Yuga rather than stated in the condition when he was alive. Starting from the time of Upanayanam, we have the practice of announcing the Kula, Gotra, Sutra and Vaidika Shaka to which we belong, and add that we act as per the particular Rishi's Sutra Dharma. Do we not assure with Agni as witness in the assembly by of Brahmanas and in the presence of Acharya that having generated to a certain sutra like Āpastamba Sutra, Ashvalayana Sutra, Bodhayana Sutra, etc. We act as per that sutra. When we announce on every occasion that we act as per Āpastamba Sutra, should we act, not think of what we know about Āpastamba or his sutras? It is good fortune that as a result of the dissemination of information by Veda, Dharma Sastra, Paripalana Bhava Sabha functioning under the direction of Srimad Acharya Pada, there is a sign that this deficiency will be removed. It is a matter of gratification that even that who are slothful so far have come forward to know the contents of Dharma, Sutras, etc. Shri Kantai Kalyana Nidhe Nidedram Shri Venkatanivasaaya Srinivasaya Mangalam Mangala Sastra Madacharya Purogamai Sarvaesha Purvairacharya Sadgurutaya Stu Mangalam.